Hey friend, glad you're live. Gives me something to watch while I work on a project.
Hi. 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 Hello. Welcome. Though it is Sunday instead of Saturday. Oh, EB. Thank you for the sub. Something to watch while you work on a project. Awesome. We'll keep each other company. What kind of project you working on? And hi, Waco. You get your thing yet? Has it come in the mail? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, Cat, hi. How are you? Oh, you're here with me. Oh. I feel so good about that. Alright, yeah, please let me know when it gets there. I worry. And if it doesn't get there in whatever amount of time, I'll send you another one. Ornaments, cute! Oh, that's fun. Are they Halloween ornaments or are they holiday ornaments? Oh, it's a paid job. Nice. Well done. I've got this little ghost that's parading as a bat. I forgot to show on stream last time, I guess. I did this during the Adobe live stream when we were trying to talk about important matters, but also draw ghosts in costumes, you know, things like that. So I think I'm gonna sell this at some point. I'll put it on my website though, like usual. You can check that out if you want to. Otherwise today, oh man, that is a potent marker right now. We're going to be working on this alpaca witch. I can't not say it as a full, like, alpaca witch. I don't know, it almost sounds like a town or something. Thanks, everybody. Y'all so sweet. I thought about doing Bickerborough, but I'm telling you, I've had an October. I don't know. I haven't been able to get as much done as I wanted to in regards to certain things, but more in others, and I'm tired all the time this month. I don't know. So it's been a thing. Oh, really, EB? Oh, thank you for putting it in a frame. I appreciate that. So sorry if I'm tired. Sorry if I'm just kind of out of it. Like I said, I'm just hanging in there. But tell me about what's been happening with y'all. I want to know. I don't know why I'm doing the candle first. I just felt like it. Whew. Yeah, this is a potent marker. Usually they aren't this bad. This is gonna be fun. Here we go. And it's like 80 outside right now, and y'all know how I feel about that, so I don't even need to go into that. I don't know what the world's thinking, but it should not be 80 right now. Bring me back my 40, 50, 60 degrees. I'll be happy again. Already got my hour. Which did you get, AB? Went to the pumpkin farm yesterday. Oh, pumpkins! Oh! Gabe and I made it a priority to go get pumpkins this year, because usually we're too busy to go do it, so too busy for living life. So we were like, you know what? We should probably do something family-ish. So we did it, and it was really fun. Oh, cute. Waco. What, is that Destroying Angel mushroom? Is that what she's supposed to be? Is it Destroying Angel? Or is it a veiled something? Ugh, I can never remember. Blech. Shame on me for not remembering my mushrooms. I hope everybody's been having a good October, though. All things considered. Streaming piece. Oh, nice. Right, streaming. That's still going on. I keep forgetting. Trying to remember what last time's piece was. What did we do last time? What was it? It wasn't the witch mouse, was it? No, cause Twillikins got that. What was the last one? Oh, the tiny witch in the house. Yeah, the one that became the Clover card. Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Oh, I don't know why I thought that was a long time ago piece. That was not. That was just last time. Granted, that was like 2 weeks ago at this point, I think. Time is a blur this month. Oh, you got the mouse with the teacup? Oh, the print. Yes, you got the print of that. That's right. Anabola! Thank you for the follow. What's up? Let's see. I'm gonna do dual lighting on either side of this alpaca. I don't even know if it's male or female or what, so I'm just gonna say the alpaca. Because I don't really know. I don't know what it wants to be, I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna try to do some dual coloring with it. Yeah! Oh man, Kat, you have had a busy year. I bet you're excited to just slow down soon. All the stress is gone. Now you gotta do like thank you letters and stuff, right? Is that... I don't know how usual wedding stuff goes. Both my weddings were not really traditional, so I'm not even sure, but I'm pretty confident. Don't you have to send like thank you notes or something? That is something I do wish I had was a wedding shower, but I think you can only have a wedding shower if you're giving people an actual wedding, because I think you pay them back technically by having them at the wedding, so I've never been able to really have that. So this is a little bit of a lighting exercise for me too, since I haven't been able to do much in terms of lighting, really, so have some fun with it. Oh, no gifts, so too many things. That's great. Good for you guys. That was smart. Again, less stress for you. That's fantastic. Howdy, Box. How you doing? Hope it's been a good weekend. It's been okay. We had to do some concrete work ourselves on our patio. Our patio is really terrible. And we knew that moving in for the most part. When we got the house, it's awful. Like in the worst parts, it's got maybe a 4-inch slab difference in the cracks. There are a bunch of cracks on it, and one of the slabs is like 4 inches higher than another one. So the problem was, though, that rain was getting in under like, it's sloped at the house, right? So any rainfall we get would just go straight under the foundation of the house. And since we don't have $4,000 to put towards completely, redoing the patio itself, we have to save up for that. But in the meantime, what we ended up doing was just sealing all the cracks and like kind of smoothing over those giant rises in the slabs. So at least the water gets trapped on top and not going underneath the house. So it won't get any worse, but it's not going to get better until we actually destroy and replace it, so it's at least angled away from the house. But that's going to be a thing. Oh god, I dropped my marker. Butterfingers. Yeah, house stuff, I know. Once we pay off this one loan, though, we'll just take out another one to do this, because it's one of those things you gotta do to make sure the house, because you can't have your foundation go to shit. If you let the foundation get cracked or sink or whatever, it can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've seen enough home reno shows to know that. So I'm more scared of that than anything. Yeah, it was a lot easier than I thought. But now the problem is we have all these puddles on top of the patio when it rains. So we gotta figure out how to get rid of those when they happen, because that's the way the dogs go out to go potty. But, like I said, I'd rather have that to worry about than, the other foundational issues thing. That's so much scarier. So much scarier. So, really exciting stuff on my end of things, huh? Ooh, halfway up a high-rise. That would give me a heart attack every time I look out the window. Yeah, there are perks to renting and perks to owning. I don't know. And cons, obviously. I think we take the freedom now of the home ownership thing over renting, just because everywhere around where we were, the rent was getting insane. And at that point, it was like, well, maybe we should at least find a way to get a house, because at this point, we're paying someone else's mortgage, and that's silly. So that's why we're where we are now. Oh no! That sucks when it's a neighbor, because that makes it really uncomfortable, because you have to go talk to them. Have you already talked to them? Are you guys on good terms with them? I'm a little worried just because, like, in end of August, our next door neighbor came over and just, like, introduced themselves, talked to me for, like, 3 hours, was so just warm and everything. She's great, and she's lovely, but she hasn't said a damn thing to me since. I don't know what to think of that. She also wanted to get into our yard to be able to do something for her yard on her side, and we were totally cool with it. And she started doing it one day, and then she just never came back, and she left all the stuff in the yard. So now I'm like, what do I do with all that? Do I leave it there, or do I clean it up and have it risk looking passive aggressive? So I'm in this weird, like, what do I do? Because she also had a stroke, so she says her short-term memory is really bad. So part of me thinks she forgot, but it's like I don't want to assume anything, and I never see her, so I can't just be like, hey, Barb, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to do. Oh, the alert box. Go away, alert box. Hi, Uber. How are you? They knocked and asked if they could look out our windows. Hope you was good with the tour. I was like, yeah, you're in my space. Oh, no. Why did they want to look out your windows? Oh, thanks for the sub, Uber. I appreciate that. 2-bed apartment in Vancouver is around 1 million. That sounds very similar to Seattle, getting a 2-bedroom in Seattle. That makes sense, actually, if it's similar to that same kind of area sort of thing. Weird. Is this a llama? It's an alpaca. Alpacas. But close. Close enough. Screw it. Pitches in the room and you can see a lot of the roof. Oh, they wanted to see the roof. What's the difference? I think you can see llamas' faces better. Alpacas are a lot more cotton ball-y. They have a lot of their features covered and stuff like that. They just look a lot more like they're popcorn. But llamas have longer ears that are straight up, typically, and longer noses. Alpacas usually have kind of more stunted noses. Their eyes are usually covered with fluff. They have smaller ears, you know? But anyway, I'm not trying to be a dork. Cotton ball-y, yeah. So I kind of want this alpaca to be, I guess, lighter, since they're wearing more clothes, more darker clothes, so we'll just do it like this. Has everybody had a good weekend, though? It means something to me that you have a good weekend. You should have a good weekend. Weekends are important. The funny thing about weekends when you're like freelance or you just work for yourself is that that's the time you actually get the most done, I feel like, because you're not being bothered by people. Because during the week, you know, people are always around their computer, they're really vigilant and thinking about, oh, what's the next thing I can, like, you know, poke and prod and see what's going on. And they're like, oh yeah, I've got this, you know, commission I'm waiting on. I'll just go poke that artist. And they usually do it during the week. So on the weekends, people aren't usually thinking about that kind of stuff. You know, they're family, they're relaxing, they don't want to think about work or, you know, talking to anybody. So as a freelance artist, like, that's when I get bulk of my stuff done. It's when everything's quiet. So Mondays are weird for me. Especially now that Monday is like Gabe's Sunday, because he has Mondays off. So it's like Monday isn't exactly Monday because, you know, he's still here. It's still the weekend for us. So it's kind of weird. I kind of wish he had Fridays off instead of Mondays, but it's okay. His job does the 4-day work week, which I think is great. I wish every place would do that because it's so much better. 3 days for a weekend makes you feel like you've got so much of your life back as opposed to just the 2, you know? Been making lots of art, which is nice. I haven't had time for it. Oh, Kat, that's so good. I bet your soul feels a lot better, doesn't it? In the many, many years I've known you, I think this might be the first time I've seen you sans elf ears. That's because this is the 3rd time I've ever not worn elf ears. I started not wearing them probably about 3 streams ago. Other than that, I had worn them every stream for 7 years straight. So that you wouldn't, like, you weren't just seeing me all the times with them. I just have never not worn them. Seriously. And I mean, I might go back to wearing them, but for the moment, it just, as you know, since I'm just doing a stream once a week and I'm not serious about it yet, once I can get back to being serious about streaming, once I have the time to, then I'll dig into the brand thing again. But for right now, I'm like, meh. It's just such a little amount of time. It just seems silly. Comfy Clover is best Clover. Thank you. Thank you much. Let's see. I gotta get this. They're wearing this lace. I don't even know what you'd call this. It's like a chest piece. I don't know what that is. I don't think this is a real thing. I wanted to say cummerbund, but that's incredibly wrong. That's not what I'm thinking of. I'll think of a word. There's got to be a word for this. Wade without his cap. Yeah, you know what? That's true. I don't know if I've ever seen Wade without his cap. Now that you mention it. I don't think I have, even in person. I've hung out with the guy. I still don't think I've seen him without it. Got back from seeing family in our garden, had a second coming. Oh, left and everything was shutting down. Came back to all of our roses going full blast. Oh, gosh. Is that good or bad, though? Because I heard, like, the flash of frost can kill things. Like, kill them dead, like, bad. I don't know. That always freaks me out for plants. It's weird. This weekend, we're in the 80s. Just all of a sudden. It was like Saturday, Sunday. Monday's going to be near it. And then I think Tuesday's when it starts to taper off. But it's like, I didn't want this. I had covered up the air conditioner. I had to uncover the air conditioner. Come on. Yeah, I think I've met him at least 4 or 5 times in real life. And like one time we went out for dinner and stuff. And I don't think I still saw him without it. If I did, I don't remember. That's so weird. But it's okay because he has one of my pins on his cap. So I think that's cool. But it's really pretty. Oh, I'm glad. Especially against all the autumn colors, right? That's got to be really pretty. I hope they're okay, even, you know, with the temperature doing what it's doing. Oh, the earth. It's weird because there are so many things if I think too long about, I go a little bit crazy. One of which being garbage. If I think too much about garbage and what happens to garbage and like the fact that recycling doesn't do as much as it should and all that, if I think about that stuff too much, I go into like kind of a meltdown mode. I have a few things like that too, where it's like if I think about this one thing too much, it's gonna be bad. Like I'm just gonna go down this road. It's like helpless city type of thing. Like, what can we do about it? Nothing. God damn it. Anybody else like that? I'm sure someone else feels like I do about that. I can't be alone there. I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna redraw in the lines later. '80s and '90s the whole time we were in Texas until last day, and it was just above freezing when we went to the airport. Crazy. Neutral England. That's good. Hope you didn't melt when it was in the 80s. Oh, Uber. You know what I mean, though? Like, man, get so stressed out about things you can't help. Some days I'm better at, like, not thinking about it than other days, but, man, it just, oof, anxiety. Maybe that's just anxiety in general. I don't know. How have things been for you, Uber? Everything going okay with you on your end of stuff? I know you're in a crazy part of the world. I know it looks ugly right now. It'll dry up and then it'll just like, I don't know. It'll fix itself really. It's not too bad? Oh, that's good. Yeah, and I mean, Gabe's so much better at, like, not thinking about that stuff than I am. And it's one of those things he tries to tell me, just don't think about it. And it's like, I can't, you can't just tell somebody not to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, some things just, they just happen. You can't stop thinking about certain things. Drives me up the wall. Oh, I wanted to ask, what's everybody's favorite movie they've seen in the past, like, 2 months? Let's say 2 months. We're looking for more movies and stuff to watch. Okay, so this marker's running out, but it's helping me a bit. So that's good. It's one of those times I'm kind of glad it's running out. Encanto. Yeah, that was a fun one. Those songs in that slap. Hocus Pocus 2. I thought Hocus Pocus 2 was like pretty on par with the first one. Like the formula for it seemed, I mean, I liked the first one just fine. I'm not fanatic about it or anything, but it seemed like the second one and the first one were pretty on par with, you know, I feel like the ending to the second one is a lot more progressive than if they had made it in the 90s/2000s. It probably would have been a little bit more by the book, you know, all that sort of thing. But I thought they did a really positive ending to the second one. Bullet Train, was that good? I was curious, Waco. Barbarian? What's that, Kat? I haven't even heard of that. The Heat Death of the Universe. Yeah, except that feels like it's more not our problem. Like, we didn't cause that. We're garbage and stuff. We did. So it's like getting mad at the universe is like, but getting mad at people being dumb and garbage stuff, different. Oh, it's scary? Who did that one? That wasn't an Ari Aster one. Was it an A24 one, though? I feel like A24 is making a lot of the good horror shit nowadays. Hereditary was amazing, but I think that was just because that was an Ari Aster one. He seems to be pretty good about that stuff. It's a fun action movie. Cool. It looked fun, but I didn't hear much about it after, you know, it came out. So I was like, I didn't know what to think. But I do know better than to listen to critics nowadays anyway, because usually I just don't agree with them anyway. It's coming to Disney soon. I think that whole thing is so funny. Like Disney just getting all these properties and movies on there, and it's like they don't even, you know. I know Disney's more than just animated stuff and whatever nowadays, but I still have a double take every time I hear that they're doing something like that. I think it's funny. Okay, I think I'm ready for the... Here, I gotta take a picture for my patrons, my wonderful, wonderful patrons. Alright. I need a blotting something or other. This will work. Alright. I think I'm finally starting to love this new town we live in this new area. I always worry about loving the new place I move to for fear that I'll have to move again. Because some of you know we moved like 10 times in 10 years. And most of them weren't really our choice. So I always am afraid to fall in love with a new place. But I think we'll be here a bit. And if we're not, I'll eat my hat. Because that'll just be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I think it would have to be a really extreme case why we'd move from here. We'd like have to win the lottery or something, or our house gets demolished or some crap. Like, it'd have to be crazy. Super dramatic. Disney doesn't scream horror. No, it doesn't. Not a bit. Decent, non-selfish people out there than crappy ones, but the amount of DMT crappy people can do is often... Yeah. Yep. The amount of damage. It's crazy. Yeah, Kat, that's a really good way to put it. People are great, or persons are great. People suck. Good point. Let's see. While the paint dries on the candles, I'm gonna do some of the lighting on the face. Oh, I did see something that I thought was... It was like publicly passive-aggressive in a way. Someone a couple blocks away from me, I was driving to my hair appointment yesterday, and I saw it, and somebody had put out their Christmas ornaments, like their lawn ornaments. Like the Santa, the reindeer, and all that stuff. And all I could think about was that seems passive-aggressive more than excited for Christmas. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like, oh, you all like Halloween. I like Christmas. Here are my Christmas decorations. It feels more like, no, Christmas is better than Halloween, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know, something about it felt just more... ill-intentioned. It was really strange. Like, what do you think? Do you think if you saw somebody whose house was like decked out for Christmas and it's not even Halloween yet, like that feels weird? I don't know. Yeah, I know in all the supermarkets and stuff and like craft places, all that, whatever, but when people actually do it, if like the tone, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because it's before, right? Like, yeah, it's a message. Thank you. All right, I'm not like thinking I'm crazy here. Because it's just, it feels like they're throwing religion into the Halloween thing. Like, you know, they want people to remember Jesus during Halloween. That sort of thing. Where it's like, man, if that's your agenda, okay. But it's pretty obvious, I think, what you're trying to do there. But I've never seen that, and I thought it was the strangest thing. Y'all seen anything strange like that? Does anybody have any weird neighbors? I like hearing neighbor stories, too. I have my Halloween stuff out all year, so I imagine there are people who do that. I know, but I don't think they did. I don't think it was out. I haven't seen that house have those things out. So, oh yeah. Kat, you are living the dream with that. I would love to have what I called growing up a seasonal tree, where it's like, decorate it for a season, don't decorate it for a season. Hey, it's July, put some July themed things. I'm not saying 4th of July, but just like seasons. Here, it's May, throw some things that are very May on it, you know, like, or cool things you get throughout the year. That'd be neat. Like if you get little trinkets and things throughout the year, throw them on the tree. I don't know, I think it's a cool thing. If you've got the space for it, oh, I'd love to do that if I had the space. Did they really box? They got heated up about it? Oof. Kat, I love that. You should have like a little hashtag or journey for your tree. I would follow that. I would love to see like the things you end up putting on it. I always wanted a part of my house that was like a seasonal altar or something. I wanted to put stuff on it throughout the year, that sort of thing, and just have it be a nice little, I don't know, collection of things, you know? Cool things you find, or, you know, trinkets you get, stuff like that. Always wanted something like that. Oh no. Oh, Boggs. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That's so inappropriate that adults would scream at you if you were in a costume. God, how mature. That's so ridiculous. I don't understand when adults are less mature than kids. It doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me. Drives me nuts, really. Like, kids can be so tolerant of other people where adults just no chance. Well, I'm glad they weren't gonna hurt you, but yeah, I don't know what good they thought they were doing by traumatizing kids. You know? True. Uber, well said. Totally. Oh, they decorate with spiders. Yeah, there are some things I think that are a little bit scary for some people with like triggers and things. But it's so hard to tell because I mean, I bought skeletons to put out in the yard, and I want to put them out, but I am like worried that someone's gonna think it's too dark. But it's like, I don't know. I guess if somebody complains, I can take it down. But yeah, I do worry that I don't want to cause any trauma or anything unknowingly. I just want to be compassionate, Like, I feel the same basically about fireworks too. Like, I really don't think fireworks should be close to residential areas or anything like that because of dogs and, veterans and things like that. Because, it really messes up ecosystem stuff as well. So, like, if they took them somewhere else to do them that was more just away from everything, I feel like that'd be better. But I'm in a part of the country where it's kind of yay America, blow shit up during 4th of July. Oh, that's true, Kat. Good point. Start physically attacking a 13-year-old kid for riding his bike on the sidewalk in their fancy suburb. What the hell? It's a sidewalk. That's what it's for. Yeah, a random adult just to hit a random kid. That's so weird. No warning or anything. That's so strange. I do think people are slowly losing their minds. Some faster than others, but something's happening. I'm gonna use my paint one for this. Yeah, but even so, like, arranged events that are like not near like people's houses and stuff, or like enforce it when people blow off fireworks next to, like, every year everybody on our block seems to have fireworks and just blows them off. So every which way on our block, somebody's always blowing something up, and our dogs go crazy. We have a guy about 2 houses down who he's a veteran, and it's like, I'm worried about him. Like, I'm worried about him and PTSD and all those sorts of things. So I just think, like, if they have it at a field or something that's further away, that, yeah, like, that sort of thing, that's different. But doing it in your street, I don't know. Oh, Uber, that story's so sad. Well, I think your logic's sound too, Box. Oh, downtown Vancouver. Yeah, so back in these rural parts where I am, everywhere is fair game to these people that, like, are gung-ho fireworks. And, your sensitivities don't matter and all that. But it's like, it's not sensitivities, it's just being compassionate, man. Like, there are nursing homes and stuff around here. Granted, some of them can't hear it. I used to work at a nursing home. You get those that they really can't hear a damn thing. But other ones, yeah, it's rough. Or it's like maybe just hand out free earplugs or something. I don't know. something. I just feel bad about it. But I worry more about the ecosystem, the pets, and the veterans, or just anybody that's got gun PTSD. Fireworks don't help. I was talking to another friend from Canada recently, and not to get too into this, but it is kind of crazy. The DNA kits thing for kids in the US, and they were like, what? And I was like, I know, right? And we were just talking about the differences of Canada and the US, and it was just insane. So many things. So many crazy differences. Even though we're like so close to each other, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so in the South, I think it is right now. I'm not sure which states exactly, but they're handing out DNA kits for families so that in the event of a shooter situation or something like that, an emergency, you'll be able to identify your kids' bodies. And it's like, oh my god. Sorry, my streams have gotten really dark lately. Sorry about that. It's just all this crap's on my mind. We can switch to something happier, but oh my god, that just blew my mind. No gun control, but here, figure out which body's your kid. God damn. No, it's real. Look it up. It's ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't understand. Here I am drawing an alpaca. A happy, serene alpaca. Let's all be the alpaca right now. Punchy Biscuits, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, I'll try to dial it back a bit. Like I said, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be streaming and talking about happy stuff when it's like so many things are weird and the world feels crazy and I don't know. Back to the alpaca. Yeah, I mean, really, like, Canada doesn't seem to make the news for being as absurd as either the US or UK, so I think you're right there. Ugh. Let's see. I'll make this a bit more. Yeah. Ooh, has anybody eaten anything good this week? What was your favorite thing you ate this week? Good meals sometimes can change your entire day. Sometimes your entire week. You wait for that one meal and you get it and you're like, oh man, hell yeah. Social justice rants. I feel ya. Oh, less people there. Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I never even thought about seeing it that way. There are less people there. That's true. Even though your area is bigger, it doesn't mean there's more people. True. You ordered a lot of food. With Mr. having COVID and I had a very bruised, potentially broken toe. Ooh, cat, no. Did you get it looked at? Oh, thank you, Punchy. Big sugar ham. What is a sugar ham? Is it just like a ham coated in sugar? Is it like glazed? Is it a glazed ham? Sugar ham. I feel like that's a good a good like pet name for somebody. You want my sugar ham? Oh, I like that better than glazed ham. Sugar ham. Oh, cat. It's so easy to break a toe though, and then it can like, heal that way. So I don't know. If it hurts really bad though, get it checked out. Oh, jet lag. That was something I had never experienced before, and when Gabe and I went to Ireland, it was my first instance of jet lag, and it hit me hard. We got in at like, God, what was it? Like 11 a.m. or something into our hotel room, and we were like, oh, we'll just take a nap. And then we slept till like 6, 7 p.m. and all the places around us to eat were closed. And I was like, oh, it sucked. So silly. We had walkaways to get to a place that had something open. But oh my God, it was funny. We were just out. Going forward in time. Is it really? What? Was I going forward in time? I think I was, if I was going from the US to... Yeah, UK was 7 hours-ish ahead. So yeah, I can't even imagine going backwards. I suppose I go backwards when I go to Seattle, but it's only like a couple of hours. It's not like, half a day. Yeah, I don't even think I noticed it when we came back. I think you're right, Kat. Like going forward in time. It's weird. My brain in a blender. So, what I'm hearing from both of you is that you never get used to it. Is that pretty true? Like, no matter how many times you come and go, you just can't get over jet lag. It's always there. I guess that makes sense. For real. Is the best advice for it just to muscle through it until you have to go to bed? Or like, what do you suggest to deal with it? Take a small nap, muscle through, sleep till the next day. A week in advance? Really? Whoa. Oh, Kat. Is to eat at the right times. Oh. I could see that. So, no matter how tired you are, make sure you're eating at the right time when you get there, you mean? Like if you get there at noon, eat lunch right away, even if you don't feel like it? that sort of thing. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That's really good advice. Thank you. Yeah, I would have never thought to do that. It makes sense, though. It really does. Body knows systems. Oh, I'm a little bummed. Gabe and I were really hoping to go for just a little getaway to like a B&B with the dogs, just to kind of change things up and to try to go make memories somewhere, you know, because we never get out of the house and all that stuff. And we're going to treat that as like our 1-year wedding anniversary for next month. And it's like we won't be able to do that now just because of money and how things are. And I'm just kind of bummed about that. This is one of those things like, next year. Well, hopefully it will be next year. "6 a.m. straight to work. Oh no. Oh, Box. Oh no, cat. Yeah, jeez. Straight to work? That'd be a nightmare for me. I can't do that. It was really weird. Gabe and I were doing 24-hour comic book day. I know this isn't the same thing, but similar. We were going through 24-hour comic book day in like 2017, 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. And the last one we did, I couldn't do it. Like at some point everything shifted from like, you're a kid, you're really, really an adult now, so you can't stay up 24 hours straight. And I was like gonna die. It felt terrible. It was so weird. So weird. Because you remember when you were younger, you could stay up late and all this stuff. Now it's like if I stay up past 1 or 2, I'm tired even thinking about it. Sorry. I try to accommodate with the yawns, but if I miss one, I'm sorry. Is worth it. Oh, Boxy, poor thing. I commend your efforts. That was not easy to do. I know, your body aches. It's crazy. Something that I would always get when I stayed up way too late was stomach aches. I never found a way to get rid of that. Even when I was a kid, if I stayed up way too late, like way beyond just a little bit late, I would get stomach aches. And I got those even then, too, when I was older. They never went away. Like if I'd stay up late, stomach aches. That's a hella pencil sharpener. It's my fine-tuning one. So I have a regular one. This one's like $13. And it does a really good job. It's got settings on it. You can see right here. It's like you can get a tiny nub, a better nub, and a sharp end. But the sharp end sometimes has the wood that sneaks up. So if you've got, let me see if I can find yeah, in this case, see how you've got one side where the wood sneaks up and on this side it's okay? That means that inside the pencil, the lead isn't centered. So if that's what you've got, something like this is really great, because then, you know, if I want to avoid that, I can take the precision thing and just get rid of that wood instead of having to keep sharpening it and sharpening it and sharpening it. So you can just get rid of it, and then the next time you sharpen it, next couple times, sometimes it keeps in line with that. But yeah, this is a good way to get rid of all that. And then sometimes if you have the lead that just kind of pulls out, it means it's broken inside the pencil. So I know that's really weird, but sometimes, like, if you can pull out the end and, you know, it's like, then you have to sharpen all the way back here. It's because somehow at some point the pencil got, like, I don't know, just busted. Like if I went like this right now and just kind of, it would probably break in there, so that once I sharpen down to here, it would get like that. So those are some answers for that stuff. Hi, Denmark. How are you? Hi, Megan. Thank you. There's a little alpaca witch. Alpaca witch. I was inspired because on my way to do my hair yesterday, we have so many interesting things around us. Since we're a little bit rural, we've got an alpaca farm that's 20-ish minutes away, and oh my god, all the alpacas were out, and they were all babies. It was all the baby alpacas, which just looked like adult alpacas, just smaller, and it was the cutest damn thing. And there were so many of them, and it was so cool, so I was inspired by that. But we also have an Amish community near us, and yesterday there was a farmer, and he was plowing his I don't know if it was wheat or corn. I think it was wheat. But he had 2 horses, and he had them hooked up to what looked like a modern plow, but without the engine. So I wonder if they just can't use gas, you know, or like an engine bit, because it still looked modern, but it looked like he had taken away the technology from it and just used that. So it was that hooked up to 2 horses. This is cool. It's really interesting. I would love to just talk to Amish people and see how their lives are, but, you know, not just watch those shows. Because the shows, I feel like, I don't know, they don't focus on the things I'd actually be interested in. But my spine kills me when I stay awake. Yeah, that too. Oh my god, spines. Spines. Tummy ache and headache. Yeah, shin pains. Interesting. So it seems like everybody has something that is like, hey, you're up too late. Super mega cute. Thank you. I'm technically relaxing too. I haven't streamed in a hot minute. October's been kind of crazy for me. So sorry about that. That's true, and they're edited, so you have no idea. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my October's been weird. I haven't been working on my usual stream project I do. I'm gonna start that back up in November. I think October I'm just kind of really using streams as just chill things. I just want to chill. So, taking it easy. Just doing things this way. But yeah, I'm tired today. I'm achy today. We did a lot of yard stuff yesterday. We did a lot of concrete crap. So I'm very achy, tired. And I gotta work on Patreon pretty hardcore soon. I'm behind on a lot of that. But otherwise I'm okay. I got some good work done on some commissions, so that's good. But it's like if I get work done on those, that means I fall behind on Patreon probably, so. Which is true, that's where I'm at. No backstory. I just doodled them up last night, just because I was feeling the whole alpaca thing. It is up for grabs though if anybody wants to buy it. But otherwise, I just want to draw a witch of a different kind. I just want to draw all that floof. You see the floof in person, you can't deny it. You need more floof. Seeing these babies in person is just like, oh my goodness. Just want to sink your hand into their cotton ball fur. Just leave it there. You'd like to think so, but after 7 solid years of that, I'm due for a very large time off, let's say. Especially after COVID kind of pushing all my stuff back and back and back and back. It's hard to catch up. Right? Oh man, I would love to have an alpaca bed. But not made out of alpaca, not dead alpaca. I just want to lay in an alpaca and go to bed. I have a friend who, like, their family owns an alpaca farm. Like, they're alpaca farmers, I guess. And they're not an alpaca farmer. And I'm like, how the hell, how do you say no to that? Like, how do you not become an alpaca farmer when the rest of your family are alpaca farmers? Like, oh my god. I wouldn't be able to say no. I just wouldn't. So, just in general, if you ever come to my stream on like a Saturday, or in this case a Sunday, typically they're on Saturdays, but I had some stuff going on. But if you come to a stream, typically it's the only time I get a week, like the only 2 hours or so I get to kind of do whatever I want. So it'll typically either be something that's unrelated to anything, or it'll be me working on like another piece for a series. So like in November, I'm going to start up Bickerborough again, which if you go on my Instagram, you'll see kind of what those are about. So for the time being, I needed to take a break even from that, which sometimes you gotta do. You gotta shelve some things sometimes just to take a break. I also have to think of more, that's part of it. I mean, it'd be different if that was like my full-time gig or something, but it's not, so, that's true. That they've been living in the alpaca life. That's true. Midnight Aura, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. And their legs really can't do this, but who cares? It's fantasy. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Toned paper is kind of my comfort zone, I'll be honest. Usually anything I draw on toned paper is comfortable for me. I started a tarot series on my toned paper. I've worked primarily on tone paper for like the past decade, so I'm pretty comfy with it. So if I'm looking to just chill out or just kind of doodle, I'll do it on here. I usually use this sort of technique for my magic whenever I'm making like animals that are casting, which is another comfort zone thing for me. But yeah, I'm glad you like it. I do try to make it soft and the magic have weight. Like that's really important to me, that the magic feels kind of hefty, you know. So when I'm actually doing magic, it's usually drippy and kind of it's got some heft to it. I like thinking that's not just this intangible thing, that maybe you could, feel it. You could feel the magic kind of touching you. I like that idea. I work digitally too. I'd say it's about 60-40. Do 60% of the time it's traditional, 40% digital. I think you almost have to be a little of both nowadays. You know, because you'll have to know some things digitally to be able to market some traditional work you've done, things like that. Do I read on stream? I haven't yet, no, not typically. Glad you're on today. Hubby's watching football, so you were my saving grace today. Oh, Weasel, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. I hope you had a good weekend. Cotton candy magics. Yeah, cotton candy. A lot more expressive when you have to draw it and gives a different vibe. Yeah, totally. Casting magic, like doing spell work and things like that. So let me see if I can find you an example. Don't think I'm trying to pimp my work here, but the best thing to show you for this casting critters thing is one of my print sets. Yeah, so like when I say creatures casting, yeah, and that, and then I jump around a lot with my style. I do kind of whatever I feel like at the time. Good or bad. Oh, thank you, Kat. Really? Still hanging out? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I worry about some of the things I get from places. Just trying to find another example. I mean, you'd have to scour my Instagram, but you'll find it. Oh, really? Oh, Box, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, that makes me happy. I love it. It's been through it as well. Good. Good, Cat. I'm glad. Don't protect it. It should protect you. Let it fight the battles for you. I have the only tote bag I ordered samples of was the owl one, and that's still doing good too. You'd be proud of me. Yesterday I did my first art fair. Hey, Yay! I used a lot of your tips for selling your recent talk. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, Weasel. I'm so glad that helped. Yeah, anytime you want any tips on anything, I'm here. I'm here to help you. You know, if anything I've done can help someone else, I'm all about that. I'm going to use the sharpener. So, yeah, ask away. I'm so happy to hear it help, though, seriously. You always hope, you know, when you give somebody some advice or whatnot, you always hope it helps. And you never totally know unless you hear back, but I'm really glad to know that my experiences can be of use to others. Exactly, Denmark. Yeah. Show, don't tell. It's a good I don't want to say advice, but it's a good thing to stand by when you're making illustrations, you're making stories. It's better to show than to tell, because when you're just telling people something's happening or this, that, or the other thing, it takes the magic away from the reader. If you show them something, then they can imagine a good amount of it for themselves too, which that's part of what pulls them in, is when they get to start imagining and using their brains themselves. But oh yeah, Kat, it was great to see you. I love you. I love you. I hope you're well. I'm so happy both of your weddings went well, and I'm so happy to see you. So thank you for coming. Have a good rest of your weekend, okay? And Weasel, of course, I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Proud of y'all. Oh yeah, and my tarot, that's what it was. I was going to show you my tarot cards. I started them. I need more time for it, but I was only going to do the major arcana anyway, which is only like 25 cards. But, oh come on, don't make me log in for this. Get out of here. Maybe I can get around this. Ha, sucker. Alright, so... yeah, okay, so here's what I've got so far. And I have actually shirts and totes with these on it right now, but like I said, I've got to keep going with that at some point. Made some money too, so now I can spend it somewhere. Hee hee hint hint, maybe in your store. Maybe. Doesn't have to be. Usually I tell people, take the first money you get from selling stuff and put it back into you. Usually art supplies if you need it, but you know, definitely like look at what you've spent and you know what you need to recoup, because in the beginning you gotta spend a lot of money to make money, that whole thing. So you know, sometimes you have to figure out, well, you know, I bought this and I exhausted this, but I need it for the next time, you know, I do a show, or you know, when you go through things, you need to replenish them. So definitely do that first and foremost. I think I'm almost done with the alpaca. Let's see. I think I'll do a little bit more with this. And I do have a Patreon too. It's basically my bread and butter. So if anybody here enjoys my work, wants to see a lot of unposted art. However, I just started on Instagram. If anybody's on Instagram and you go to this thing, I've got subscriptions now. Hold on. Oh God. So the subscriptions area, Jesus. I've only made it so it's like $1. So what you get with that is basically a thinned out version of what people get on my Patreon. So you get to see the unposted art because I only post maybe 25% of what I actually make a month. So I put art in there. I put process gifts and things on my Patreon too, and I put those on there. The only thing you wouldn't really be getting are the downloadables and like the videos, I guess. But $1 is $1, so if you don't want to pay $3 for that stuff, you can pay $1 and get most of it, you know. Really, Denmark? Which ones? Digitally. Dang. That's a compliment. Thank you. Was it the straight lines? Oh, like maybe the halo on the bat? I would use templates for things, for sure, when I could. On the Fool. Yeah, the halo effect I did use, like I printed out a circle and then I had those notches put in it, and because I really wanted those right where they should be, I printed it out at the size I wanted it, and then I did a transfer technique. And I've got a tutorial for this on my Patreon too, but what you do essentially is you turn it around, and on the back you blacken it out with like lead. I use my brown lead for that. And I just fill it in, and then you put it the other way again, and then you line it up on your traditional paper, and then you just trace it. And then when you lift it up, it's transferred on there so you can, finish it up. So it does help, for sure. But I'm glad you enjoy them. Thank you. But yeah, sometimes, you gotta get some help when it's geometric things. Some things I admit I cannot freehand. So, oh, it's feeding time. Time for the pups to eat. I myself am getting hungry. Oh yeah, I love doing shows. If it's one I've done a lot, I feel extra good about it because I know my way around, the convention. I know where to go. I really enjoy the ones I've been to many times that have repeatedly given me the same outcome. Like Dragon Con, fantastic. Emerald City, fantastic. New York Comic Con, awesome. Like, those are my favorites. But actual art fairs, I actually haven't had very good luck with them. Because my demographic just seems to be at conventions. Comic conventions specifically. Anime conventions, not so much. But yeah, the last art fair I did, I kind of bombed. I'll be completely honest. But I mean, some people are made for art fairs. Like, I have some friends who just kill at art fairs. They are so good at doing art fairs. And I don't know if there's like a secret sauce to that or what, and how it's different than convention vending, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Denmark. It makes you relax looking at it. Oh, that makes me happy. That's so weird that inside I could have like some crazy storm turmoil, but what I'm drawing is probably where I want myself to be, you know? That's crazy. Oh, thank you, Kristen. I'm glad you like them. I have to figure out what color the background is. I say color, but I mean value. Or maybe I can just leave it flat. I always think I have to add a background thing. I don't think I do. But I think I'm basically done with this. I'll put this on my store. If nobody on the stream wants to grab it, I'll put it on my store for next week. Along with this little ghost guy. He's just cute. I don't know. I think he's cute. He's a little ghost Dracula bad guy. I don't know why he's a bat and a Dracula. I didn't think about that. I don't know. I gotta fix this one thing. I drew this on the Adobe Live stream when I was talking about selling your work at conventions and things. My friend Wadikov asked my husband and I to come on to talk about selling our art. So we did, and then during the stream, it was like, you know, he wanted us to draw something while we were talking, which is like, oh, cool, okay. We can do that. So we did, and it was fun. So this little guy is the product of that. So it was like 20 minutes. We only had 20 minutes, so I went with it. Like you could squish your fingers in it? Thank you! Oh, that's exactly what I was going for. I wanted it just to be like super chill, man. Super chill. The alpaca will probably be 85 on the stream, and I'll probably do like 90 on the website just because this is 6x9. So it's a little bit bigger than my usual 5x7s, but it's a cutie. Gotta figure out how I want to do. God, these little white things are showing up everywhere. EB, you want to print? Alright, you know the drill. Send me $15 and I will get you a print of it. That goes for anybody. You get a 5x7 print of whatever I'm doing on the stream. We've just started doing this since people have wanted prints of them. So it's 5x7 so I can fit it in an envelope and just ship it. So 5x7 print is 15, and then you can Venmo. Let's do Venmo. PayPal's been fucking me. Venmo.com. Let me see if this works. I always forget my Venmo thing. Okay, here's a Venmo. If you can, you could also do Streamlabs if you want. The tips button below, or Kristen, you can do PayPal. That should be okay. Do friends and family though. If you do PayPal, just do friends and family. Otherwise, it takes like $5 from me or something. It's ridiculous. Okay, you got it. I will say it is claimed then. So at the top of the screen here, when I've got this up, if somebody claims what I'm working on, what I'll usually do is I will go into the thing and I will say it has been claimed. Boom. See? Blump, blump. So then you know if it's been claimed or not. Oh, got it. Thank you, Evie. Alpaca time. And that goes for anybody who's international too. If you are international and you want this, a print of it, it's basically the same because I can send it in an envelope. So it's only like $1 to ship. Well, technically I think $2 because it needs the extra ounce stamp, but it's a nice easy way to send like postcard sized almost things. So if you're international too and you want one, hit me up. It's pretty slick. We figured this out a little while ago and I was like, oh damn. I can get people some really cute, like really quick one-off prints. Because some of these I don't even make into prints then, you know. I'll just do it for the stream and that's it. So it's like you have like this fun exclusive thing that just happened live once, you know. Which I think is really one of the magical things about streams is when things happen live and, you know, they're just things that can't really repeat themselves. You know, you can't manifest it just whenever. Things just happen sometimes. So I think that's neat. Yeah, I'm glad I went with this idea just because, first of all, the alpacas I saw were so cute, but I just wanted to doodle something, like something that didn't have to do with anything, and I think that sometimes that's important. Like if you just want to draw something for the sake of drawing something, go for it. It doesn't have to be part of a bigger project. It doesn't have to have some greater meaning, you know. If you just feel like doodling something, doodle something. Doodle the thing. I think it's important. Same thing with like, you know, you don't always have to make your hobby into a hustle, you know. I feel like a lot of people I know think if they can't make their hobby into a hustle that they're not going to do their hobby. It's like, nah, man, keep doing your hobby. It makes you happy, right? Do your hobby. That's the point of a hobby. And then if you find you like doing it a lot more than just a hobby, that's different, but don't go into a hobby thinking, oh, I gotta make this into, you know, a way to make money. That's just gonna kill your drive for it, I think. Yeah, you get a story behind it. You can tell somebody, well, this is how I got it, and, you know. Oh yeah, box, always for you. Just hit me up, I'll make you one. Is the challenge there is going to be that we remember. So maybe write yourself a note or something and I'll hook you up. We just got to remember. I will make one for you. Oh, it's being weird. I mean, you can use whatever is easiest, Kristen. I mean, that's up to you. If you want to send that to make up for it, it's up to you. Otherwise, I mean, you can use a different service if you want. I have Zelle, I have Venmo, I have Coffee. Coffee might work. I think they're all listed on my website. Hold on. Maybe I have a nice little link hub that I can get you. I really should do that. But yeah, whatever you feel the most comfortable with, we can figure it out. Exactly, Denmark. Yeah. And I've had so many friends that are like, I don't want to do it if it's not making me money. But it's like, well, then it wasn't really a good hobby for you, I guess. You know, you want it to be a hobby, right? Like, hobbies are just for your heart. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Let me accept the request. There you go. So this will be sent out before the end of the week, probably. Exactly. That's not what a hobby's about. Oh, got it, Kristen. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I know. It's... Oh, I read that totally wrong, Box. I thought you said this will be a hard one to remember, but that's just because of how my chat is. Well, I'm happy you like it so much. Now, personally, I really want to put in like a crease here just because that's what the fur would do. But this is one of those instances you don't want to do what it would actually do because it's going to look bad. So we're not going to do that this time. Even if it's correct, we're not going to do that. Bark, 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 bark. Alright. And I think we're good. I'm going to put some gold bits on this, I think. Really? Oh. Were you having a bad day before? I hope you weren't having a bad day. I'm glad I made your day, but I hope you weren't having a bad one. Bark, bark, bark. Not bad, just depressing. Oh no. Well, if you need to talk about it, you know where to find me. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. I doodle and paint to get stuff on my head and play around with stories if someone else enjoys seeing them. It's a bonus. There you go. Art is for you, first and foremost. And that's the thing I don't think we should ever forget as artists. Like, because I feel like the minute we forget that art's for us first, and then, you know, kind of for everybody else second, then we won't get burnt out. I feel like once we're doing art for someone else first instead of us, then we're going to get burned out. We're going to get disillusioned. Our passion's going to be lost, all that stuff. So doing it for you, making what you want to make, not making what's popular, all that, that's going to help your heart stay in it. Want to be rich by any means. Oh, no. How do you just, that's something I've never understood. Like, the people that say, I want to be rich. Okay, but where do you go from there? Like, what's the next step to I want to be rich? What do you do? Like, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know I don't know where you go. Yeah, what would it actually do? I mean, just make life easier, but if you don't have passions to back up being rich, like, if I got rich, I know exactly what I'd do with it immediately. But it would all just be means to help me do my art all the time. Which I feel like if there are people who just want to be rich, they probably don't have those things that they want to be rich for. They just want to be rich. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they want the status that goes along with it and all that, and just being known for being rich. Like, I just don't understand that, and I never really have. But if I were rich, I would pay off all my debts. I would make sure my house didn't have foundational issues, as we discussed earlier. And I would save the rest, honestly, and help out any family who needed it, friends who needed it, and just keep it on tap. You know, I would never just blow it. I am not the type to blow all my money on something. I am a saver. So I feel like people who are savers typically don't get rich, which is the weird thing. Every time I hear somebody gets rich, they're the type to just blow it on stuff. Like, you never hear somebody who's like, yeah, I just won the jackpot. I'm going to save it. Or give it away, you know? Like, it depends on how rich I would get, but yeah, I mean, if you got, like, obscenely rich, that's different. Then you know, I would probably give most of it away and just make it so my family and my friends have it comfortable, but I don't know. The people who are out just to be rich and that's it, I don't know those people. I'm not usually friends with those type of people because I don't understand it. I don't think that's a wise ambition, you know. I think that has a dark end and a not very fulfilling journey, honestly. That's just my opinion. And hubby had put an eclair on top of my cup, brought it in the living room, and both cats jump up and stuck their foot in it. Ew, no. Oh, kitty litter eclair. Oh, what are you gonna do, Box? Oh, thank you, Denmark. I'm glad you like the details. I got the gold going on too, so the gold's a nice little shiny bit. They think they'll be superstar rich living in a mansion, but they would just have a little more fancy or a few years newer car than others. Yeah, that's the other thing. Mansions? Bro, our house is like 1,700 square feet, and it's like, we don't need it. We don't need it all. Like, I don't know what I would do with a mansion. I don't understand. If I would own all the art supplies. Yeah, I would just want to make sure that everything in my house is in working order. Like, I'd be the lame person who maybe I'd find a house that's at least better suited to what I want, where I want, because I don't exactly like where our house is. So maybe we'd get a new house, but then I would spend most of the money just making sure that it had, you know, a good foundation, the water heater isn't going to break, all that kind of crap. I know that sounds super nerdy, but I don't know. I like peace of mind that everything I have is in working order, stuff like that. I think I'm gonna make these bows gold. I didn't even figure out what gender this alpaca is, and I don't think I'm gonna. It is whatever you want it to be. I'm cool with whatever. I think it'd be cute if it had some freckles. Little gold freckles. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. I think we're at a good point. I don't think the 3-second blue rule applies to cat toes. Yeah, oh, the thought of kitty litter on it. That's the part that I'm like, ugh, kitty litter. My money would only make my life more comfortable, and most of all, removing and worry and fear by not thinking about money as an issue. Yes! I feel the exact same. That's it. I wouldn't want to blow it on anything. I feel like that's such a dumb way to go about it. So dumb. So selfish. So blah. Anyway. I like the no gender, just peaceful. Yeah, right? I don't think it needs it. I don't know what it would add. So I'm fine with it being a genderless alpaca. And honestly, I don't even know what denotes gender in alpaca other than, you know, I guess the plumbing, but, you know, whatever. My oldest niece and oldest nephew's wife are both expecting, and I'm going to be a great uncle. Congrats. Oh, Box. That's exciting. Wow, you're going to... That's two kids then, yeah? If I'm reading that right. Thank you, Denmark. Thank you, EB. I'm always so happy that you're on the streams. I'd spoil the shit out of them. Good. I know a fellow artist that was more of a salesman than an artist, and he was always concentrating on how much he could make with his art rather than doing his art for his art's sake. I didn't hang out with him after seeing this aspect of his get-rich ideas. Yes, I completely agree with you. And I think as a salesperson / artist, when you're at a convention or you're at a fair and you're just there to make money, and when you talk to people, you may be projecting things that, you know, are portraying what you actually want out of your interaction with these people. And that's why it's so important to, if you're in it for the art, you're in it for the experience, all that stuff, money takes a back seat to that. That genuine, like, honesty is going to come through when you talk to people. And I think that's part, if not the main reason I'm a good salesperson, is that I'm not a salesperson. Like, the best salespeople are most likely not actually even salespeople, right? They're just being human. They're talking to you about you, what you're interested in, why you came to the convention and all that stuff. Like, just genuine curiosity with, you know, optimism to it, really. Because otherwise, you just come off as slimy, you know, and, ugh. I'm not a fan of that stuff, really. Two babies. Had to try to type that slowly so it didn't come out as super weird. Yeah, no, it's not weird. Okay, so those of you who wanted a print of this, I think you had sent me an email. If there is anybody else, international or non-international, it's fine. Still $15, and I will mail it to you. A 5x7 in a little cute envelope. And you can use Venmo, Zelle, Coffee, Streamlabs, whatever's easiest for you. But just hit me up. As I just get done talking about selling stuff. I just like people knowing what's available. You don't have to. It's whatever. That's not why I made this. I made this because I saw some damn cute alpacas and I was into it. So I'm appreciating it, not just for getting money. Okay, one last story because you just tripped on it, and then I'll go. One of my worst interactions at a convention was, I think it was 2017 at a very small anime con. I had a friend tell me he had overheard this guy who later came to my table say that he was trying to butter me up for whatever, right? By talking to me, because he was there for, like, combined over the weekend, an hour and a half, just stuck at my booth talking to me, which, for anybody who doesn't know, that's bad con etiquette. Do not be a booth barnacle, we call them. You know, talk a little bit. When it gets busy, move on, come back throughout the weekend. We'd much rather see little stints of somebody than one giant talk to us for an hour at our booth. You know, just make rounds, because usually people come back to the same area and whatever. Anyway, so he was there like all weekend. I find out from my friend overhearing him talk to his friend that he was trying to butter me up. He came by at the end of the con and picked up one of my originals that was like $80, and he said he wanted it. And I was like, okay, well, it's $80. He's like, I don't have it. Can I get it for a little bit cheaper? I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. Because I was already feeling like, oh, this guy's icky. So he went to his friend to try to get like 20 more bucks to buy this piece off me just because he wanted to get in my good graces. And at the time, I didn't have the like salesman backbone I have now. I wouldn't have sold it to him if it were now. Back then, I was like, okay, you really like, I asked all the stuff, you really like fairies, you really like bugs, you like everything that's going on here? Because he did not look like he wanted it, but he was just picking one of the more expensive things, right? And it was just super slimy. It was a bad thing. He ended up taking it, and I mean, I didn't like love the piece, but it was still something I spent time with, and I didn't want to I didn't want it to go home to somebody who didn't really appreciate it. I hope it ended up with somebody who liked it. I really do. But it was one of those things where you're just like, ugh. You know, it was, bleh. You'll have those interactions once in a while. So getting used to how to deal with them is good. You know, luckily I haven't had a similar experience since that. I also kind of cut out doing anime cons for the most part. Small ones. Bigger ones are different. Bigger anime cons are a lot more like comic conventions, which is interesting. But yeah, it wasn't as bad after that, but ugh. Hearing it called that? What? Which thing, Waco? What did I say? Oh, booth barnacles? Yeah. So we kind of, like, a lot of convention people have names for things, and, you know, booth barnacles is one of them. When you've got somebody who will not leave your booth barnacles. Yeah, and that's not what it's about. I care so much about where my originals do end up when I have control over it. If somebody on the internet, obviously, that I don't know just buys an original and I've never met them, that's different. I just have to, like, suspend hope that it goes to somebody that's meant to, you know, because I sternly believe that a lot of the time when you make an original, when you're making it, it's for you. When you're done with it, it's for everybody else. So whoever ends up with it, it's kind of like destined to be with them, I feel like. But in this case, it didn't feel that way, and I just felt gross about it. So after that point in time, I told myself, I was like, if this happens again, you don't let them walk away with that. You don't sell it to them. And I was like, okay, me, you got it. So you learn from things, but anyway, okay. So I usually stream on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Central, which is 2 hours ago, actually. And I spend about 2 or 3 hours doing a personal piece, because it's usually my only time during a week I get to do a personal piece. In November, I'm going to start up my series again of watercolor, R-rated Beatrix Potter type things. It's the best way I can describe them. But for the rest of October, I think I'm just, like, what is it? Next weekend's the last one? I think next weekend's the last Saturday in October. I just wanted to make Halloween pieces, and if people liked them, cool. You can have them, whatever. But otherwise, please check out my Patreon. There's how many days left? 8 days left to get the Clover card this month, and then it's gone forever. And then my sticker story packs, those have a cute crow theme this month. It's a crow creature. They're kind of like the crow god, I want to call them. So if you're into crows or kind of paganish things, you'd probably dig it. Comes with stickers. Pagan, but comes with stickers. Anyway, and then the witch house I drew last time on stream is the Clover card for this month. So a Clover card comes with a story on the back that I write about that piece. So if you want to see what that looks like, oh, I've actually got the original. Totally remembered I did that yesterday. So if you want to see, so this is the Clover card this month, is this guy. Don't worry about the URL. It's totally misleading. But there's that, and that's the Clover card this month, which is like $4, and then the sticker story packs are $6. So if you're into either of those, check it out. It's on my Patreon. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Saturday, I think. Is that Halloween? No, it's the 29th. Awesome. Okay. I might dress up. We'll see. I think last year I was a moth. I might do that again. Who knows? Anyway. You're welcome, Weasel. Have a great week, too. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you next time, all right? Bye.